Hidden in the Ozark Mountains lies a bridge that defies the passage of time, the War Eagle Bridge. This rare Parker Truss design carried a hefty price tag of over $1.5 million in today's money back when it was constructed in 1907, replacing a simple ford crossing used since the 1830s. The one-lane steel span was commissioned to provide vital transportation to the War Eagle Mill and surrounding businesses' distribution routes. While the bridge represented the cutting edge of industrial might, parts of its story were very nearly lost to history. That's when I became obsessed with recovering a small bit of this unique piece of Arkansas's heritage. My journey began with a visit to the bridge and learning about its construction at the adjoining mill. That's where I saw a copy of the bridge's blueprint. Unfortunately, some of these documents were a little low quality, and it really sparked an interest to see the original and find out, what details were missing. Searching online, I was only able to find blotchy photocopies from the 1980s, and nothing more clear or legible was to be found. Unfortunately, this is the best view I could get, which wasn't great. More digging revealed the original construction documents were preserved at the Benton County Courthouse. Unfortunately, that turned out to no longer be the case. So, I took my search offline. It'd be great to see a little bit of tangible history that helped to make a bridge. After striking out at a number of different places, I was beginning to fear the originals were gone. Victim to time and indifference. It is until I visited the county archives and uncovered a trove of local bridge records. And let me tell you, it was so cool to be able to dig through all of these documents. Here were artifacts that were older than living memory, both World Wars and the Model T. Films were still silent back then. And Typhoid Mary? She was arrested and quarantined for the first time that very year. But I digress. Away from the other documents in an unmarked tube, I was able to find the original War Eagle blueprints. It was great seeing all these little annotations and details that didn't make it into the original photocopy. Unsurprisingly, this search opened my eyes to the fragility of all the architectural heritage around us. Take this bridge, for instance. It's a similar make and model as the War Eagle and built around the same time. But despite it being in a local town, I had no idea where this bridge was. So I went to the local museum to see if they could shed any light on where it was or what happened to it. And that's where I talked to
Don Warden, Director of Research and Exhibits. And I've worked at the Siloam Springs Museum since 1991.
Don was thankfully able to pinpoint exactly where this bridge used to be, and surprisingly, the bridge only lasted about a decade, and was torn down in an effort to pave the city.
It goes to how the town being able to project an image of progress and having amenities, and we've got electricity and water and X number of miles of paved streets.
Coincidentally, Don showed me some other maps that had some bridges that I had no idea existed.
This map does have some footbridges on it. That's Iron
Sushi Vision Bridge?
Yeah.
Oh, suspension.
Oh, okay.
Since I was nearby, I decided to check out where this suspension bridge used to be. And to my surprise, it was replaced by a girder bridge sometime along the way. And even that didn't last. Throughout this journey, I was hard-pressed to find any bridges that were still standing. And it makes sense. Bridges are especially susceptible to weathering, to heavy use, and a lot of the time, it's easier to just build new bridges instead of repair. The War Eagle Bridge is no exception to these forces, and has flooded several times over the years. And despite numerous upgrades and repairs, this bridge still runs the risk of getting irreparably damaged. Perhaps that's why I became obsessed digitizing the bridge records. We tend to measure things in decades, and anything older than a century is a rare find. In any case, Warrigal Mill now has a high-resolution copy of the blueprint for any and all visitors to enjoy. So, that's about it. I had a ton of fun researching all of this, and I encourage you to do your own research on whatever random thing catches your eye. Who knows what you'll find?